If you're tired of getting bombed and dotted by the same money plays over and over, this defensive scheme will change how you play Madden. You'll send instant pressure, take away the meta, and force way more picks. I'm Red Zone Rocky, and I've helped thousands of players improve through my content, and I've used these strategies to compete with and beat top players. Now I want to help you improve and win consistently. I'll show you the exact defensive setups and adjustments so you can start boxing people today. Let's get into it. We'll be running the overpowered formation Nickel 2-4 in the Vikings defensive playbook, but this formation can also be found in the playbooks on the screen. Now the most important part of any defense is being able to create pressure. So first, here's how to run one of the best and fastest blitzes in Madden 26. The play is Overstorm Brave out of Nickel 2-4. Now first we need to set up our coaching adjustments, so we're going to press the right stick in and we're going to go to coaching adjustments. Then we're going to put auto flip on, we're going to keep this on, then we're going to go down and we're going to put our curl flat zone drops on anywhere between 15 to 20. I'm going to put them on 15 for this. Then we're going to want to put safety depth on close and safety width on pinch. Then we're going to go to the formation Nickel 2-4 and we're going to flick the right stick left or right to change the coverage shell to a cover 4. So we want to be sure that we have a cover 4 shell on for this whole defense. Then of course we're going to go to Overstorm Brave. Now when you're in this play, there's just a couple of adjustments. First, what we're going to do is shift the D-line to the side of the QB's throwing arm. So Trevor Lawrence is a righty, so we're going to shift the D-line to the right by pressing left on the D-pad and then to the right with the left stick. Then what we're going to do is QB contain by pressing RB or R1 and then LB or L1. Then we only have 2 more adjustments after this. Next, we're going to put the D-end on the opposite side of where we shifted the D-line on a flat or any type of adjustment that you want. So you can put them on a flat, a QB spy to make sure that the QB doesn't roll out to that side, a curl flat, whatever you want. For now, we'll just put them on a flat. And we're going to user the linebacker opposite of the blitz, and we're going to put our user on a zone, whatever zone that you want, and this is just for switch sticking purposes. Now you're going to see against 5 blockers, we're going to have this linebacker come straight in, looping around the guard for an easy sack. And the great thing is, this blitz works on both sides. So we can do the same exact adjustments just to the other side. So we're going to shift our D-line to the left. We are then going to QB contain. We're going to put the D-end on the right side now in a zone. And then we're going to put our user, which is now the right side linebacker, also in a zone. Then you're going to see against 5 blockers, we're going to have this looping linebacker come in completely free for an easy sack of the quarterback. Now, if you recall, we did put our curl flats on a 15-yard zone drop. The reason we did that is to guard corner routes, because a lot of the times people love to put corner routes, especially on their tight end that's attached to the line of scrimmage, like you see on the left side here. So when you're thinking that your opponent might be running a corner route, you could send the blitz to the opposite side of the D-end that you want to put on a curl flat. So here we have the D-end on a curl flat on the left side because we think that a corner route is being ran to the left side and we're sending the blitz to the right side. And you're going to see that the curl flat on 15 yards is going to totally take away that corner route. We are pretty much bracketing the corner route underneath and over the top with our man coverage. So you're going to see in the instant replay that the corner is shut down with the 15-yard curl flat, and then the man coverage is also over top of them, while the pressure is coming in completely free, so they do not have a lot of time to get rid of the ball. Now another thing you can do with that D-end is actually just man up the running back with the D-end. So we can set up the blitz to the right side like we were doing before, but this time we're going to double tap left on the D-pad, then we're going to press our D-end's icon on the left side, we're going to go up with the right stick and then man up the running back. So now that D-end is manned up on the running back, and we can take the safety and put him in whatever we want. We could put him in a curl flat, a deep third, a deep half, so now we have help over the top with our safety. So if they were to run something like this, where maybe they have like a crossing route, well, now that crossing route is going to be running directly into that deep path, and we also have a man up there, so it's very hard to throw. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with this blitz, and that's what makes it so good. Now, great defenses disguise their coverages, so the offense never knows if you're sending heat or dropping back. So our first coverage defense is going to be cover 4 drop field with the same look as the blitz, so it all looks identical pre-snap. Now for the coaching adjustments for the coverage defense, we want everything to be the same, except this time we want curl flats to be on default and the hard flats to be at 10 yards. Now your adjustments for the coverage defense is super simple. You're going to identify the outside DN that's on a blitz, and you're going to shift towards that DN. So the DN here on the right side is our blitzing DN. So we're going to shift towards the right. We're going to do that by pressing left on the D-pad and then right with the left stick. Now your next adjustment is to simply just put a QB spy on the D tackle on the side of the DN that's in a zone. So the way we do that is by pressing the D-pad twice to the left, press that player's icon, right, which in this case it is Y. Then we're going to go right with the right stick, and now he's in a QB spy. Lastly, all we're going to do is shade underneath by pressing Y or triangle and then down with the right stick to convert the curl flats into hard flats. Now you might be wondering why we have our flats at 10-yard zone drops, and the reason for that is because these flats do a great job of rallying to the ball underneath and will guard short corner routes really well, and they're easier to switch stick to guard deeper corner routes. So let me show you an example here. We have a drag on the left side, and he's going from the left to the right. And you're going to see that the flat on the right side is actually going to do a really good job of rallying to the ball right there, and that is a 10-yard flat playing a drag. So why have our flats play at like 5 to 0 yards when we can play them at 10 and they rally to the ball extremely well? Now, another reason why we are having those hard flats at 10 yards is because they guard comeback routes really, really well. So we're going to see this. We'll look to the left side. It's going to be really hard to guard, or it's going to be really hard to pass it to those comeback routes with 10-yard flats. And I'll show you this on the right side too. So right here, we have our hard flats. We have that comeback on the right side, and you're going to see like it's going to be really hard to throw that comeback when we have a 10-yard flat on the field, because we're kind of just sitting underneath and baiting that throw. Now, what if the offense were to run some type of flood concept like this? Well, what we're going to do is switch stick. So again, we're going to set up our play. We're going to shift the D-line to the right. We're going to QB spy that to tackle and shade underneath. And what we're going to do is switch stick to the flat and then work our way up to the corner route. Now, you might be saying, doesn't this give up the running back flat? Well, it could give up the running back flat, but if they do throw it to the flat, we're just going to rally down and make a tackle. We are all okay with giving up flats. That is perfectly fine. So let's show exactly how this works. So when we see a corner route being ran to the left side, we're going to flick the right stick to the left to switch stick to the flat, and we're going to go up the field and we're going to guard that corner route. Now, one thing I want you to notice too is that this is only a two-man rush. But the reason we're shifting the D-line is because this will let us get a one-on-one here with our outside edge rushers, and this will make it easier for them to shed fast, especially if you put good D linemen there or edge rushers there, and they're going to be able to shed just like this. So that's a two-man rush coming in just 3 to 4 seconds, maybe even less, and that does not give the quarterback a lot of time to throw because we have 9 people into coverage if you count the QB spy, because he's kind of acting as a zone right there, and the QB spy is going to again follow the quarterback. But right now, we have a two-man rush coming in super fast, so they're going to have to get the ball out fast, and we're switch sticking to their main routes. So now let me just show you real fast if they were to run a similar route concept, right? And they were to throw it to the flat route. So we have our play set up here. We shifted the D-line, we QB spied, and now if we switch stick, right? And now they throw to the flat, well, all we're going to do is just go down and make a tackle. That's it. And because we're using that guy, it's a lot easier to just run down, sprint, and make that tackle for minimal yards. Now that we've covered the base defense, let's talk about how we can handle some of the best formations in Madden 26. The first formation we're going to learn how to stop is 3x1 trip sets like trips tight end. Now to stop trips tight end, what we have to do is go to cover 4 quarters, but the most important thing is to make sure that all of your zone drops are set to default so we can keep the matching principles. So once you're sure that they're on default, then we're going to go into cover 4 quarters. Now, the first play that a lot of people go to in trips tight end is the RPO alert bubble, and if you are not ready to guard it, they're going to get easy yards every single time. And so we have a setup that stops this RPO along other very popular plays. Now, your adjustments for this setup is simple. All you're going to do is put a bluff blitz on the D end on the trip side. So in this case, it would be the D end on the left. So we're going to double tap left on the D-pad. We're going to press that D end's icon, and then we're going to go to the right with the right stick. And now he's in a bluff blitz, but it's actually a 3-rep. Then we're going to man up the linebacker that's over the inside trips receiver, and we're going to man him up to the inside trips receiver. So we're going to double tap right on the D-pad, press that player's icon, go up with the right stick, and then man that player up. Then we only have 2 more things to do. It's very simple. Then we're going to QB spy the D tackle that's on the side of the DN that's in a zone in that 3-rec. So we're going to double tap left on the D-pad. We're going to press the D tackle's icon, which is Y. We're going to go right with the right stick. And then we're going to user the the safety that's on the tight end side. And we're going to put him on a D path. And you can just go into the box like this. Now what you're going to see here is that because we manned up that bubble, that guy that's manned up is going to play the bubble just like that, and he's not going to get a lot of yards. And something you can even do if you have time is to simply move this player even more up. So here would be the exact coverage. So I already have it set up. And you're going to see that if we move that player up, he's going to be right there and he could pick that ball and you can go for 6. Now, when we have this RPO guarded, your opponent isn't going to just try to throw the ball right to the RPO every time or the RPO bubble. If they do, that's fine. That's great for us. They're going to try to run the ball most likely. That's why we love having this safety that we're using in the box, because if they try to run the ball out of this RPO, all we have to do is shoot this A gap. So watch this. We're going to be lined up right here. And then you're going to see we can just run right through the A gap and make a tackle right there. It's that simple. All you have to do is that every single time. I'm not going to even set up the defense here. I just want to show you. All you have to do is run straight through. You want to pretty much be 5 to 6 yards away from the O-line. You don't want to stand close. You don't want to stand right here. You're going to get blocked. You have to stand about 5 yards back. So I'll set up the play one more time, right? So we're going to man up the linebackers, QB spot, boom. I already have it all set up. See, that's how fast you can set this up. Then, again, you're just going to move around 5 to 6 yards back from the line of scrimmage. Then you're just going to run straight down and tackle him in the backfield. Now, another play that Trips tight end players love is verticals, right? They love spamming verticals, especially putting the running back on a Texas route. But this setup that we have here, right, is going to completely lock it down. They can't spam verticals like a lot of Trips players do. So right off the bat, they try to spam the seam, right? That middle Trips receiver. Well, what you're going to see here is that you literally cannot throw this or else it will be a pick. The reason for that is because the quarter flat on that left side presses him, right? So he's not able to just get a free release. So you're going to see here, once the ball is snapped, he's going to run right into the quarter flat, and the quarter flat is going to press him. He's going to knock him off his route to the inside because this quarter flat here, this quarter zone, deep quarter by the safety, is also going to match onto him. So you can't throw it late either, but you see that this quarter flat will break and intercept the ball. Now, the other thing that Trips players love is spamming the tight end corner route. And the great thing about our setup here is that outside quarter will match on to the tight end. So you're going to see when we have our play set up, you're going to see that outside quarter is going to play the tight end extremely well, and you're not going to be able to throw that because that quarter matches on to the tight end extremely well and locks him down. Now you're also going to see that the Texas route is completely locked down, and we can also switch stick to guard the Texas route as well by the running back. So right here, what I like to do when I see that a Texas route is being ran, I'm going to switch stick to the quarter flat. And it's so simple because at the snap, you can see if the running back's in a Texas route, especially if they're running verticals, you kind of know that they're probably going to run a Texas route with a running back. And all I'm going to do is flick the right stick to down to that quarter flat, and then I'm going to use the running back because he's matching onto the running back wherever he goes. So we're going to snap the ball. I'm going to switch stick to the quarter flat, and now I'm on the running back, and now our two-man rush is getting in for an easy lockdown coverage versus Trips tight end verticals. And then I also just want to show you too that because we have this player manned up, he's manned up by that linebacker, he's going to bag him, and we also have that deep half help. So this is our user, but because we switch stick to this quarter flat to guard the running back, the deep half safety just goes back here and is guarding anything deep. But if you don't switch stick to this quarter flat, your job is still to cover that deep half and help with anything over the top like this crossing route. Now we're gonna go over how to stop 2x2 sets like the formation doubles flex Y off close. Now to stop doubles flex Y off close, we're gonna be running the play cover 9 show 2. And once again, you wanna be sure that your zone drops are set to default because this is a match play and we wanna be sure that the match principles stay activated. Now here's what cover 9 will look like on the field, and to stop the most popular plays, what we're gonna do is put the D end opposite of the tight end on a hard flat, so that is the left side D end here. So we're gonna double tap left on the D-pad, press that player's icon, and then go left with the left stick. Then we're gonna put the D tackle next to that D end on a QB spy, so we're gonna double tap left on the D-pad, we're gonna press Y, and then we're going to go to the right with the right stick. And this is the play, and that is what the play will look like. And those are all the adjustments. Now, optionally, you could shift your D-line to the side of the two rushers to get a better pass rush. But if you don't have time, that's completely okay. You do not have to do that. The rush will still come in good, and usually you'll still get a one-on-one with that edge rusher. Now, your job here is to use the 3-rec linebacker. You're going to guard any drags underneath and then work your way up to the middle of the field. So a lot of people love this play right here, this flood concept, and you're going to see that this completely bags the flood concept. Nobody is going to be open, and you're going to see that that player is matched by the inside quarter. So let's go to the instant replay real fast. So you're going to see that the corner is matched by this inside quarter, and we're going to do something to even make this defense better, but I just wanted to show you that the corner route is matched by the inside quarter. Then you're going to see that the vert hook here by our slot wide receiver or our slot corner is matched with the drag, so he's bagged, and then this soft squat actually matches the dig route. But the cool thing here for us is that we're using the 3-rec, so we can also help the dig route if he gets open, and we can just use it in the middle of the field and lurk that pass. But I want to show you something here because this is really, really important. So we're going to set up our play, and the offense is going to have this flood concept. Now, to make this coverage even better, when we see a flood concept and we see the tight end is going vertical and he's likely to run a corner, we're going to flick the right stick up to this deep inside quarter to user him and guard the corner ourselves. So I'm going to snap the ball, and then I'm going to switch stick up to this quarter, and now I'm guarding the tight end, and I'm going to be right there to make a play. I have 2 controllers, but you see I am there to make a play. Now, the cool thing about this is when we switch stick to that inside quarter, the other thing I want you to notice is that the 3-rec still stays in the middle of the field, and he's going to help that dig route there, because right now if you have a better corner, he actually does a great job of locking this dig route down, but right now he's getting cooked. But it's fine, because even if he gets cooked, we have our user, or if we have to switch stick, the 3-rec still plays the middle of the field for us. So the next very popular route combo is PA snag, and they might do something like this. And this completely bags PA snag. So we're going to do the same adjustment. We're going to put the D end opposite of the tight end in a flat. We're going to put the D tackle next to him in a QB spy. And because we have a flat route on the left side, we don't have to run with this drag route all the way. We're just going to cover him in the middle, and then again, we're going to lurk the middle and then go upfield. So we're going to snap the ball, we're going to lurk this tight end fast, we're going to go right here, and now everything's bagged, and that 2-man rush is coming in because we have a great edge rusher right there getting in a one-on-one situation. So I want to show you the instant replay real fast. So again, this is PA snag. We have this tight end drag, right? We're just going to guard it in the middle real fast, and then he runs right into the flat. Then we go back to the middle of the field, we guard this little spacing route. The vert hook matches onto the slant, he is bagged. Then the soft squat matches on to the post, he is bagged, and we also have these inside quarters here. We have the inside quarter and the outside quarter to have any help with this slant or this post route. So now that you have a lockdown defense, now you need one of the best off-meta offenses in the game to keep your opponents off guard at all times. So be sure to click on this video on the screen. I guarantee you'll score more points and win more games. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.